Hey, hello, everybody. Welcome to Inspire. Today, we are going to work with a dear friend of mine and open up the platform for community, the collective, and to the open minds, heart, and spirit who are ready to hear the journey from my girl, Rocío Cervantes. Welcome, Rocío. Thank you for being here.
Yeah. Thank you for having me here, Debbie.
Yeah, it's an honor and a privilege to have you on the show today as we open up the discussion on the beauty and journey of cacao and your journey as well. So please introduce yourself to the community and how you would like those to have a glimpse into your journey of who you are.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. And I am so happy that we're having this conversation about cacao. As you know, there's so much information out there in the internet about it. You know, you can go and read about the health benefits, about people's experiences with cacao, about the history, the rich history, the Mayan, um, about its botanical use, 10,000 years or more. But what I want to share about today is my own journey with cacao.
Yes.
And if you're someone who is interested, who has a calling with cacao, um, honor that, because it is a very specific to you, your needs, kind of a journey, right? I know there's a lot of information out there about Mayan cacao ceremonies, and that is beautiful. I love that. It's a way, right? The universe will uh, throw that concept, that idea out there initially. Oh, yes, this is about the Mayan. Yeah, I want to be connecting with my ancestors. I want to be connecting with, uh, the beautiful mythology of the Mayan people. Um, so that is a doorway. That is just a doorway. Um, but once you open that door, then cacao will get you.
Yes.
What happened to me? Cacao will get you. That's how I initially began. My name is Rocío, and I started working on myself many, many years ago. This is back in 2012, 2013. I was coming out of a very difficult marriage. And what I decided is I'm not going to date, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to focus on myself. And that's what I've been doing for the past couple of decades, really diving into what are my patterns? Why was I repeating certain cycles that were putting myself in a situation of hurt? And if you're hurting yourself, okay, you're hurting yourself. But when that hurt is impacting others, those around you, in my case, my sons, my biggest blessing. That's what drove me to, getting in the rooms. Uh, I started with CODA, with Al-Anon, you name it, all the 12-step programs. They're for free, okay? So there's no excuse. You can walk into a room and and get the help you need, depending on the ailment is, what you're suffering, what the pain is. And I was in a lot of pain. Um, so after that, when my father passed away, I wanted to know. I, w- I was very close to my father, and when he passed away back in 11 years ago, I wanted to know more about the whole mystical aspect. I wanted to really find a way to connect with him, and
Yeah.
that's why I was kind of asking questions, going on the internet, going on
Yeah.
YouTube. I missed him so much, and I was in a lot of pain, and I felt like I had, lost my father uh, many times. Initially, it's through they're around, they're alive, but there's emotional abandonment, right?
Yeah.
Laying out. So I had to heal all that, and then when he passed away, it was like, wait, I'm just working on myself. I can now be fully present to my father. And I didn't get that chance. I didn't get
Yeah.
that chance. So I started, just Googling and back then, 11, 12 years ago. And then I came across Reiki, right? I came across more of the esoteric type of practices because I had questions and I wanted
Yes.
answers for that. So that led to Reiki, then that led to more of the shamanic work, working with the Inca medicine wheel. I did that for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized that all this beautiful energetic work was very powerful. And it was helping me through depression, through sleeping better, through my practice of meditation, through self Reiki, through some of these shamanic practices. It was really helping me calm my nervous system. And and that was the big dream. But there was this one thing I realized, that I still kept repeating the same patterns. I was
Mm.
still attracted to the same, type of man. I
Yeah.
was still, sabotaging my own success.
Wow.
I was still afraid and in fear. And that's when I was introduced to the work of Coop Blackson, and he became a teacher and mentor for since 2018. And his main work has been transformational coaching. So I became his client. Then I went through his whole program, Embodied, his coach apprentice program. And then after that, I became an apprentice. So I've been
Yeah.
apprenticing for several years. So people in my community know me about, Cacao, there's Rocío and Cacao. And I
Yeah.
love that. And because you never know, I feel like I'm jumping all over around, but
No, it's good.
um, if you have interests, which I have many before
Mm.
I went on this journey of
Yeah.
self-awareness, self-realization, whatever you want to call it. I had many interests. I would travel a lot. I love history. Uh, I work in higher ed. So all of those life interests um, started working in my favor. And that's how I got to cacao. Because when I had the first sip of cacao, and I went to
Mm-hmm.
my first Mayan cacao ceremony
Yeah.
here locally at Oxnard, it was like, oh, so this is a Mayan cacao ceremony. Where are the Mayans?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, where are the Mayans? And because of my background in history, my undergrad was in Latin American and Iberian studies and a lot of, Latin American history. I took a lot of history of the Americas, and in graduate school as well. I just wanted to know and go find the Mayans
Yes. And
and cacao.
I think it's really interesting that you say that. First and foremost, thank you for giving me an insight of your journey and, the awareness that you have awakened within yourself. And, you took me on that journey of grief from your father.
Yeah.
And you were also moving through your own
Mhm.
journey of understanding energy and also healing from things that you went through for your son. You said your son, and I
Yes.
think we all have different reasons why we do what we do,
Right.
from taking a moment to bring harmonious energies that back, and whatever that looks like on a physical level. It's not it usually, for the most part, is because we are going and experiencing something physical, and the mind is trying to make sense of it as we move through that nervous system and the changes. And um, I love how you've taken charge and an empowerment to study, to learn. And when you talk about the studies, where are the Mayans? Why are they not here? And who are you? And why are you serving me the cacao? And I think this is the beauty
Yeah.
of the energies, because the medicine is within the plant, and the medicine that comes with that cacao, the seed of the sweetness that you speak of, the
Yeah.
felicitator is channeling the energies. So the times have definitely changed. We may not look where we come from, but we embody the ancestors, and we
Yes.
embody the new energies of the way the times are presenting it in 2026. I remember my dear friend said, Debbie, just come as yourself, bubbly and happy. You don't have to have your guru jacket on and your beads. I want to see you, your spirit. And I feel, Rocío, you do that. You embody the medicine of the cacao. And I love what you say, because I know there's a lot of minds, a lot of people are saying, pues, ¿qué está aquí? ¿Qué está pasando? Where are my gente? Where are my
Yes.
people? So,
Yes. Where are the Mayans? Where are the Mayans? That was
yes.
a big question. And listen, I had the question. I posed a question to the universe. I posed a question to the group, and you don't just get to the Mayans, okay?
Yeah, girl, you got to get invited to those babies.
You just don't get and go to the Mayans. I went on a journey. I went on
Yeah.
a hero's journey to get to the Mayans, and I had to go through a lot of lessons,
Right.
before I met them. And what I realized is that initially I had some reservations about the way we were facilitating these cacao ceremonies, using Mayans, using ancestral practices and all that. Initially, I had reservations about it. Not reservations, but I wanted to learn more. My view has changed. I called my events cacao circles, but that's
Yes.
because I recognize that there is a community out there in Mexico, the Yocotan Mayan community, who are, they've been around over almost 300 years ago. And we owe them today the wisdom keeping of
Yes.
all these practices. Whereas in the Americas and Central America, in Ecuador and Peru, yes, we have found the oldest cacao. The oldest cacao found it's in Ecuador 5,300 years ago. Initially, we thought it was in Mexico with the Olmecs and the Soconusco, which is the border with Guatemala and Mexico, about 4,000 years ago. But now, as of 2, 3 years ago, we know for a fact that cacao came from the Amazons.
Yeah.
There's this beautiful, you can go and look it up. It's called La Huaca de Monte Grande. And there's another one called Palanda La Florida, if I get it mixed. But there's one in Ecuador and there's one in northern Peru, Jaén, I believe.
Yeah.
And what is beautiful about this temple where the oldest cacao was found is that the whole structure, it's not a pyramid. I mean, there is a platform, but what it is, it's a spiral. It's a spiral of a woman giving birth. It's
Wow.
like the cosmic mother. And in the middle of the spiral, they found a vessel, right? And a queen. Actually, it's a queen, the mummified, right? And they found a vessel containing the oldest cacao that we know. So it was used, we know that it was used for ritual, that it was used for our ancestors. It was the highest offering you could give to the underworld, to
Yeah.
the passing to the next level. Because one, it'll give you the energy, right? Cacao has a component, it has to give you the energy. It has the love molecule, hence why we give it out for Valentine's Day. So it's the most precious gift you can offer the gods.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so cacao for me has led to going on this journey, initially searching for the Mayans, and then realizing that for me it was about connection, which is, I feel it's one of the most deepest needs in humanity, as a human being, to find that connection with others, And through this journey through cacao, I've done just that.
Oh, you
You know,
have. Mm-hmm.
meeting amazing people, going into the communities and meeting these circles, and allowing others to come out of their homes and into these spaces where they can connect and have a cup of cacao in a
Yeah.
circle setting. The travel, the journeys, the healers, the Mayans. Not only have I come across the gatekeepers of cacao who are they from the Chontala region, but I have also come into contact with other communities such as the Chol, the Maya Lacandona, for example. So there has been so many gives. You know, I've also started a business with cacao. You know, I
Yeah.
go there and I meet farmers and I meet the
Yeah.
communities who, the unglamorous
Yeah.
aspect
Yeah.
of cacao,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, the labor that goes into that,
Yeah.
being in a cacao grove and being bitten by hundreds of mosquitoes and not sleeping for 3, 4, 5 days. Hello,
Yeah.
present. Here I am.
I've seen your videos. You and Anna, you had just gotten back, and I seen the heat. And you were in the golf cart, and you were traveling with the ancestors to, to harvest and to go into ceremony in the sacredness. There is the connections to the land and to what is the offering that is being given from the earth to you and to the community, and honoring the ancestors. I love how you say you call it a circle, because there is the keepers of the wisdom, the keepers of those who hold the medicine of centuries of times before us. There is a respect for it and an understanding the I wanted to say not only the sweetness but the value that comes with that.
Yeah,
There's the hands that pick it, that pull it, and
yeah,
clean it. I was taught by Rocío to, we peel the seed and we open it up, and we're grinding and we're putting our prayer and we're putting our love into the work.
yeah.
But there's still a ceremony that's offered even as you are going to that place, to the places that you visited. And so this is why, when one, Rocio, when you have someone who feels called to take cacao, and they feel called to invite the plant, the sweetness into their life,
Yeah, yeah,
um, it truly is a journey into the heart.
yeah,
It really is.
it is.
And for anyone who pauses with the cacao, I know you give it to us and you say, with love I give and with love I receive. For someone who doesn't understand it, what are we doing and why are we drinking it and what is the purpose of it? What will you tell somebody who doesn't understand it, just as you started to Google and went into Reiki and shamanism and healing? How can we give a simple, gentle way to someone whose mind is learning? I want to try this. What would you say to them?
There's several answers within your
Yeah.
beautiful question. For the Chontala Mayan people, they use cacao for medicinal purposes. Many indigenous communities, as a matter of fact, all the indigenous communities around the planet, they have their own medicine. In Mexico, we have, I believe it's, we have peyote, we have psilocybin, right, mushrooms, we have cacao. As a South America, we have different other types of medicine, such as ayahuasca, as you know, uh, Bovin Saba, etc. So the medicine of Mexico is cacao. And for the people of the Chontala region, cacao is used to treat different ailments, postpartum
Mm-hmm.
depression. And they have, of course, all these are recipes, quantities. And these recipes, these quantities, these different type of ways of preparing the cacao to treat an ailment corresponds to their Mayan calendar as well. So it's cacao is very woven in with the Mayan cosmovision.
Yeah.
It's not isolated as we do it here in the West, where we just
Mm-hmm.
have cacao circles. No, everything is aligned. They don't have cacao. The cacao spirit just come every Sunday, every, full moon or new moon. It's not
Yeah.
as Abuelo friend says, it's cacao, the spirit of cacao, the spirit of the jungle, the spirits, the alushas, all the living spirits of the jungle. They're not there to just come and answer the call,
Yeah.
at your beck and call. Like they have very sacred times where they go in ceremonially, drink cacao.
Mm-hmm.
Just to give you an idea, there's two ceremonies in within the Mayan Chontala cosmovision. One is in June and the other one is in November. Just two. No more cacao ceremonies. Everything else they do, of course, are offering to the land or to the cacao grove or cacao tal, as I call it. So within this, the Mayan cosmovision, they have the 13 o las 13 bebidas sagradas del cacao, the 13 sacred cacao beverages. It's
Mm-hmm.
13, 1, 3. And every beverage is utilized in a different setting for ritual, for weddings, for celebration, for coming together, etc. So this is how they've been gatekeeping this wisdom for over 300 years. And it's oral transmission, nothing is in writing. You don't
Mm-hmm.
find it on the internet.
Right.
You don't find it. For us, when you go into a cacao circle and a cacao ceremony, the group in itself, whether it's women, mixed, where you're creating that vortex, you're creating that circle, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're coming together to create this space, this safe space where we can just relax our nervous system,
Yeah.
just meditate, bring down, just, we do breath work, we can do meditation, sound baths. And the idea is that, when cacao hits your nervous system, you're able to relax and calm, to feel that warmth, to you feel that just fuzzy feeling, happy, uh, and that allows you just, put the guard down and
Yeah.
connect with the field. So that's what cacao does. It kind of breaks those walls,
Yeah.
right, that we
Yeah.
walk with all day long. And
Yeah.
it allows you to just, relax your nervous system, and just be present with your cacao as you sip your cacao and you hear the meditator and, the sound bath
Mm-hmm.
and, the breath work.
Mm-hmm.
So it allows you to relax.
It does. And
And
you
then,
do
yeah, go ahead.
you do a beautiful job in that process, when you set the sacred geometrics of flowers and
Yeah.
you're putting in the altar, you really, really take time to invite the energies. And I've watched you work and the journey that you've traveled with all the different felicitators really show through you when you're doing your own circles, and
Yeah. Yeah.
as I shared with you last night when I lost my mom, I
Yeah.
was called to go into the cacao,
Mhm.
and I knew that it had medicine for the heart. It
Yeah.
was to open up that blood flow, and so I knew that when we're in grief, our breath changes, and I was holding on to so much in my grief process. When we hold space for our loved ones who are sick, and I can tell you, as someone who sat in your circles, the intent to go in with your ancestors, and you had the picture of your father, the family, and we all come and we put our pictures there, and we're honoring those that walk the path before us. You are bringing the energies with you from the journeys and time that you shared for yourself. So sitting in circle with you, Rocio, for community, the nervous system and the barriers that we build to protect our nervous system changes for sure. And so I want to validate that for you with your work that you do and carrying the medicine of cacao.
Thank you. Thank you. The workshops that I love doing are working with the metate, the ancestral tool that was utilized or has been utilized throughout, in the centuries in Mexico and in Latin America, well, Central America. And I think when we're on the metate, on this volcanic stone, it's almost as if we're interacting. You go to a sweat lodge and you're interacting with the abuelas, their stones, or they have a spirit. I feel it's the same concept with the metate. And you're grounding it, right? You're communing with the energy of that spirit as well.
I definitely could say when you gave me the apron to put on, I was like, oh my gosh, I right away thought of my grandma. My grandma would wear her apron and go in the kitchen, and I could visualize her smiling and being present. So you set the tone in a beautiful way of reminding us of our ancestors. And I often find people ask me, or they think they're going to have this I don't want to say their mind opens and they start to get these visions. And so everyone is different, right? So how would you explain what happens to someone when they're in the meditative state, when they're drinking the cacao? What can you say, what one's awareness or their mindset, what happens to them, or what have you recognized from your those that join your circle?
Yeah, priming the nervous system takes time. Right? It takes time, years of practice. Cacao is not psychoactive, right? We know that it's not psychoactive. You're not, you intake it, you're not going to see, pink elephants.
That's what I wanted. Some people think that that's what's going to happen. And so I want to say, I know for me, I haven't had the pink elephants, but what have you witnessed, with the different...
Unless, you mix it with psilocybin or, other type, with mushrooms, but that doesn't mean the medicine is not working with you, right? It doesn't mean that it's not working with you. I have my nervous system is built differently. I'm a sensitive. I can take cacao and and especially if in a circle setting or in the jungle, I will go into a full-blown process. But that's me because my sensitivity, my nervous system, whatever it is, I'm built a little bit differently. So for me, cacao works. Now, if I go higher than cacao, I've done ayahuasca, and with one little cup, I've been in it from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. So I don't need much, but that is me. That's why cacao for me, it works beautifully. I'll have it daily. And if I have more, then I may sit down and feel my grief, fully. I may sit down and feel my anger. I may feel, because cacao will show you your shadow. I know we speak a lot about, heart opening medicine. Yes, it is true. And in time, as you work with her on her side, she will show you. Mother Cacao will show you. I've been on my knees. I've been through very deep processes. I had to call 911. I know this is a little bit extreme, but listen, I went all in. For me, there's no I'm having cacao Monday and I'll have it back in a month on full moon. No, for me, my commitment is I'm all in.
Me too.
I'll have it in the
Yeah.
morning. I'll have it later. I'll have it as needed. I'll meditate with it daily. It's been years of building that muscle. So when
Mm-hmm.
I am in this, if I feel distraught, if I am, feeling out of sorts,
Mm-hmm.
that's my medicine. I
Yes.
built that relationship with it. So if
Yeah.
you come into my circles and you're expecting to feel something, to that level, maybe you will. I don't know your journey. Maybe you're able to just drop and feel that immediately you're sensitive. I don't know. But if
Mm-hmm.
you don't feel anything, that doesn't mean the medicine is not working with you and for
Yeah.
you.
I love that you say, yeah.
Synchronicities may happen, things will be shown to you.
Mm-hmm.
You're asking, you're opening, you're
Oh,
making
yeah.
that, you're putting that intention. And for me, our intentions, our word, we're casting spells.
Yes.
So if for you the intention is to have that breakthrough, to see more, to get clarity, to, as we say it now, release everything that is no longer in my service, then
Yes.
expect a little push.
Yes.
And it also depends at the consciousness of the facilitator as well.
Mm-hmm.
How deep they've gone in their own work. You can
Mm-hmm.
only take your client as far as you've gone,
Yes. Oh my gosh,
right?
Rocio, yes. So I always say this. We hold space for the energies just as you've gone to these different jungles and you've got to hold the medicine and you were able to go to the womb of where the seed was created as the offering to the lands. And, you know, you come with those energies. We
Mhm.
are holding space for the energies that we work with and that channel through us. And so that is what we can also bring forward to community, the work that we have done for self, and then also whatever spirit shares. So I love that you say that. When you were talking, I just thought about, she's all in. And let me tell you, she's all in. When she works with her Inca tribe, we're in there shape shifting as our, the jaguar medicines come in. We're in that
Yeah,
ecstatic dancing and
yeah.
I'm down on my
Yeah.
knees. When you say you're down on your knees and praying, I was like, I was becoming the jaguar. You're like, go girl, be that jaguar. And I'm
With
like,
the jaguar.
oh my God, we do it. And that's the beauty of moving it out of the nervous system. And
Little
you take it
jaguar.
there. I thought, see, you really do take us to that sacral chakra and that creativity and that sensuality that we embody as
Mhm.
women and
Mhm.
that energy of creator. And
Yeah.
I have had the honor to experience that with you. And I want to say, Rocio, um, collectively, what would you like the world to know about you and Cacao as we come to the closure of this mini discussion on the medicine and the beauty and the sweetness
Mhm.
of
Mhm.
cacao?
I mean, there's a reason why cacao is so popular now. More than a fad, more than a trend.
Yes.
She has she knows her why, and we don't have to know that, right? Um, so there is a reason why there's so much heart medicine going around the world. I mean, just it's like putting two to two together. It's a no-brainer. Heart medicine, right? What I would love for my colleagues, for clients, for anyone out there, to just try it. Um, to just try it with an open mind, with an open heart, and also to leave aside everything that you think you know about cacao or how it should be served. This should be done in a ritual specifically, with Mayans or drums or go. No, 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 no. Leave all that. Set that aside. It's
Yes.
your own sacred relationship with cacao or with mint tea. It doesn't matter. It's just,
Yeah.
at some level, it's building that relationship with your own, with the sacred. Because at the end of the day, what I feel, cacao for me has been a vehicle to connect with the mother, with the divine mother. And that's
Yeah.
ultimately my goal for me in a day in, day out. How am I connecting with Divine Mother? And cacao for me has been another way, another vehicle, another beautiful vehicle
Yeah.
to meet Mother in so many ways in this earthly. The other thing is, um, don't be afraid to, uh, especially us, spiritual practitioners, highly spiritual, elevated meditators, to walk on this earth, to walk on the belly of Mother Earth, fully present, fully grounded, doing the dishes, vacuuming, and having your cacao in between. That's
Yeah.
cacao, very grounding medicine,
Yeah.
very earthy.
I agree. I too have had the honor to get your cacao and the little hearts, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I have it. I do the shavings into my
yeah,
coffee, and when I'm low, Monica will pick it up for me from you, and I can
yeah,
be in my pajamas and I just bless it, and I welcome the stars and the earth energy and the universe, and I bring it back to my heart, and I even give it as an offering.
yeah.
I would go and do my walk on the beach, and I will leave
Mm-hmm.
my offering of
Yeah.
cacao on the
Mm-hmm.
little rock. And so
Mm-hmm.
I love that you say, as you're doing the dishes and you're that person who's just in the moment, that's
Yeah.
all it needs, is that gentle
Oh, no.
moment, not the um, production of it. It's the production of the intent for
Mhm.
thyself. So, Rocio, what a beautiful way to bring it in a gentle, loving way for community. And you will be with us this Saturday at the Glen Tavern,
Yeah.
felicitating cacao for community. And we invite anyone who's listening to join us in our cacao blessing that
Yeah.
Rocia will be offering. And she'll also have a table for donations. We ask that you donate to her as she brings in this medicine from, I want to say, her journeys from Mexico and from, the different walks of path of where she worked and sweat, her hard labor, and her little hands pulling those, cacao beans for us. And so let's respect the energies. Let's respect what she's bringing and make sure that we take care of her with love. If you guys are coming out this Saturday, we'd love to see you. Don't forget to meet her. Rocio, what else are you doing in community so people can find you?
You can find me at Rocio.Cervantes _ on Instagram, social media, Rocio Cervantes, and on, any other social media platform. What am I doing? And my website, RocioCervantes.com. What am I doing? I have a journey. Speaking of the Mayans, I found the Mayans.
Yes, she found us.
I
Yes.
found the Mayans, and they've been very welcoming and very warm. And what I do is I do these journeys. I call them the cacao journey, but it's
Mhm.
really going in and connecting with all these different beautiful Mayan nations, from the Chontala, the cacao gatekeepers, the Chol, the fire gatekeepers, and the Lacandon Mayans, who are, they are the tobacco gatekeepers, the copal gatekeepers.
Yeah.
I take you through a 6-day journey into these nations, and we connect with the medicines. We connect, most importantly, we go inward, and we do a little bit of inward, inner
Yes.
work. Uh, and then, of course, I have different activities throughout the year, and vending as well, cacao. I have a website with products and that I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my biggest project right now.
I
And
love
of
to
course,
see it.
coaching, transformation is also one of my biggest passions, because I have to embody that. I had to, rise from the ashes as a phoenix and go through the whole transformation process. And it was not pretty.
Yeah.
The whole journey is
Ooh.
messy, by the way. It's never perfect. It's never perfect. I know it looks
Mhm.
perfect on social media. Trust me, it isn't.
No, it isn't. I had a lot of tears, a lot of visions of what I was releasing, and a lot of
Yeah,
heartache of imprints and memories, and
yeah,
you're visiting the wounds within that has
yeah.
hurt your heart and spirit. at times, and sometimes there's celebrations, as you said, weddings and, gatherings and honoring the goodness. So there's a blend of a lot of different ways to work with the medicine. And so I celebrate you, my friend, and your journey. I think it's amazing what you're doing, even through the hard stuff. I want to say, Rocio, it's a privilege to have you sitting here and sharing with the community and the collective all about the beauty of cacao. So thank you for being a guest on Inspire today. And all of you guys, don't forget to follow my girl. Yes.
Love you, love you, love you
Love
all.
you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
everybody, and have a great day.
Bye.